Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with man like Seni. Seni, welcome back to the channel.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, basically, as you know, the game on the weekend it was a tough game but poor performance.
Yeah.
But I wanted also start with this to start with the goalkeeper issue right now at Arsenal. You know,
Yeah.
right now, who would you play, or would you drop Raya for the Champions League match?
According to what Mikel Arteta said, he's got two world-class goalkeepers coming in to, keep each other on their toes to improve their performances. He's going to rotate. He's going to play one keeper in certain matches and another in other matches, which he hasn't shown. So since the last international break, Raya has come in and he's not looked back since. However, he's been making mistakes that warranted him bringing David Raya in the first place. So now I only think it's fair to give Ramsdale a chance to fight for his place back. And bear in mind, Ramsdale is a top keeper. He was in the team of the year last year.
Hmm.
He kept us in many games last year. One moment of greatness that stands out to me was that save against Liverpool when Salah was bending it back into the top bins and he flew out of nowhere and tipped it over. So it's only right for Ramsdale to come in. He's made too many mistakes, and the talk was that Raya brings a calmness to the back five, and he claims and commands his area very well. We saw in the Chelsea game, he didn't claim or command his area very well. How can you get lobbed from within your 6 yard box? So it's only right Ramsdale come back in for the Champions League game, and if he does well, he stays in until he deserves to come off or come out, and then Raya goes back in. That's how I see it. Or just make one of them your number one, and then we go from there.
Yeah, you're right. But you know what? We we Rams how to call it Raya situation. I don't know. I'm kind of like I don't understand what to say right now because I wanted Raya to play. I thought like Raya is a better keeper. Maybe you know what? He might
Yeah,
still come and be good. I think right now, I think the pressure is on right now on Raya because you know what happened. Like when you playing to teams like Brentford, this lower league football, and all this, these smaller teams, there's no pressure. Compared to playing at the big six and all this. So I feel like the pressure right now is on Raya because also he's thinking like there's a keeper out there sitting down there. If I make any mistake, it's just gonna come at me or he's gonna take his place. Remember what Ateta said? Ateta said these keepers are there to compete. That means if any keeper that make mistakes, if he feels like this keeper is not comfortable, it's gonna put him on the bench.
yeah,
From what he said. So whether he's gonna do that or not, that's remain to be seen. But for me, right now, the mistakes that I saw Raya did for the part, not only Saturday's game, even against City, he was a bit shaky. And then against Everton, he came in, but he didn't have much to do on that game. If you really watch that game back, so for me, this goalkeeper issue is becoming now a problem, and the media are making it more dramatic. And because I was listening to Gary Neville was saying Ateta cost this to himself. He didn't need two keepers, two good goalkeepers. So I think right now Ateta had a big problem. For me, you're right. I think I'll play Raya. I'll play. I'm not gonna say Raya is a better. This guy's a better keeper. Sorry, Ramsdale. I'm not gonna say that right now because things might change. I think Raya is the pressure's getting on him. He'll become good. But from what I see from him, I'll probably play. How to call it? I'll play Ramsdale next one.
yeah. To be fair, I don't think there's a massive difference between the two keepers. People say Raya's got better distribution. He's better with his feet, but
Mm.
given the examples we've seen in recent games, I can't put my finger on it and say, right, he's definitely better at distribution or he's better with his feet. Because every time he kicked it out on Saturday, he was kicking it out in the stands. He
Mm.
wasn't anybody. And to to make that same mistake Aaron Ramsdale made against I think it was Southampton, played it straight into the striker's feet. That's very dangerous. He was very lucky we didn't get punished for it.
I remember the Champions League game that we lost to away to Lens. It's the one that gave away the first goal to lose.
Yeah.
I think right now Ryan needs to be benched just for the sake of he need to sit down and watch Arsenal and study more about the football club. Because right now it looks like the pressure is on him. That's why he cannot handle it, you know. So he needs to like give him time. Let Ramsdale play, and then because Ramsdale also is a character. He's good. Like I think that game against Chelsea, Ramsdale should have been started that game because although we cannot say that if he starts, he's gonna make no mistakes and all this. These are like goalkeepers make mistakes. People forget that. Goalkeepers make mistakes. And that day, that Saturday, what both keepers were making mistakes, big mistakes, you know. That's why I was talking to Chelsea fans. They've been saying, oh, Sanchez make mistake, this, that, causing Sanchez. I'm like, bro, our keeper made the same mistakes, you know. So I understand your frustration, but if it's not Ryan making that mistakes, I think that game could have been 1-0, or I think Arsenal could have come back and win the game. Because remember, that game, we didn't turn up on the first half. First half was rubbish. Second half was up to like 70 minutes. We turned that game over. We were the better team, and we could have nicked it. We could have nicked it, like, to be honest. You know, so for me, I think Ateta needs to right now because of what he said. If you play well, you be in the team, and if you play poorly, you stay on the bench. So he needs to give Ramsdale. Me personally, I'll play Ramsdale Champions League and play Raya in the league.
Yeah, to be fair, he deserves to play in the. I mean, he was a very key ingredient in us, you know, finishing where we finished last season and gaining Champions League spot. So he deserves to play there. Raya wasn't there last season when we were going through adversities and whatnot. So he deserves to be put in the Champions League. He's never played in the Champions League, and he's at a club now where, you know, he's got opportunity to play, and he was very key in us getting into it. So
yeah,
right, he gets.
I've been saying Ateta created this unnecessary problem with the keepers. So about this. Yeah, probably that's what we're talking about. You know, it's really, you know, you just have to sit there and just play Ramsdale next game, and then we'll see how it goes. And the other topic that I want to move on is on. As you see, I highlighted the main topic that I want to discuss more. Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
Why Thomas Partey is not playing? Why is not getting to the team? Is it because of injuries, or is it because of, you know, not enough game minutes, or is it because of he's trying to like wait for after December start to play? Maybe he doesn't want to rush him back and all. We can find so many excuses, but maybe you can tell me something that I don't know.
Well, he's not come out and said exactly what the problem is, but what I'm guessing is he's trying to manage his minutes and limit him for the amount of minutes he's playing in and the games he's playing in. Because if you see, he played 20 minutes against, who was it that we played? Came on for 20 minutes against, what team did we play when Partey came on for 20 minutes?
Man City, sorry for the connection.
Yeah, it was Man City. Yeah, so he came on for the last 20 minutes and then off to international, played a couple of games and came back. And bear in mind, he flew from America as well. So that might have been one of the reasons why he thought, you know what, because of his injury record and whatnot, we might as well, you know, manage him better. Because even when he went away, he sent a physio with him to help him out whilst he was away. So maybe he's gone by that and just wanting to manage him a little bit more, because he's very vital to our team. You saw how he changed the game when he came on against City. So that's the only thing I can say. Maybe he's working on, but he's not really come out and said there's a problem there or why he's not getting into the team.
Yeah, that's why. Like for me, it's funny because when I saw that, remember me and you speak like off camera, and
yeah,
was out. What did I say? I said I was not happy with Jorginho starting. I made it clear because I knew that Chelsea midfield, like they're young, they got the energy, they got the legs. You know, somebody who hasn't got the legs.
Yeah.
Playing somebody who hasn't got the legs, midfield three, which is Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. You're killing Odegaard and you're killing Rice because what happened is they're gonna do the donkey job. And other guy will, I'm not giving the excuse. He was poor anyway on the night. He was very poor. But if you're playing Jorginho, I remember there's a incident that I don't know. Conor Gallagher, yeah, he just drive past Jorginho. Jorginho couldn't even go near him, and I saw Rice recovering and all this. So for me, even that game, the lineup, I think I got it wrong. Thomas Partey has to start. Even like play Thomas Partey that game against Chelsea, yeah, play him like half an hour, win the game maybe 2-0 or 2-1, whatever the case is. Take him off against Sheffield, or you play him full 90 minutes against Sheffield. You can rest him and play Jorginho. You can play Jorginho at home to Sheffield or away to Sheffield, but you cannot play Jorginho away to Chelsea, away to Tottenham, away to Liverpool, away to Man City. You cannot, because he cannot recover. He doesn't got the legs. Yes, he's a ball playing midfield. He is. When you play in the big 16, you're not gonna have majority of the ball every time. You will dominate a period out of time, and other team will take over. So for me, starting Jorginho is criminal. I was very shocked like when I saw Jorginho start and party. If you're not, like they said, if you're not fit to start, you're not fit to stay on the you're not fit to be on the bench. And even that first half, when I went the game first half, we were poor. So I was expecting at least Partey will come in the second half and just make difference for it. Because if Partey comes in the second half, then we could have locked up like Chelsea. But that's how it went. So I'm really surprised, and I don't want to see this Jorginho in this midfield again, man. The only
To be fair to Jorginho, he had a really good game against City. So I guess Mikel's just going off that performance, saying he had a really good game against the champions, the treble winners. He bossed it. He played really well, and then Partey came on in the second half and took it to the next level. So I only guess that was what he was going by, and obviously when it just went to shit, sorry for my language, the whole team was shocked because we didn't expect Chelsea to play like that. But if you're coming against a midfield three of Enzo, Gallagher and Caicedo, you're definitely going to want some physicality in there and a machine in there, if you know what I mean, because you know they're going to run, you know they're going to man mark you, and then they know Arsenal play through the middle. So
yeah, and you know what? That's what they did. They stopped us from the middle, and what they did. They stopped us from the middle, and they put like full two players with Martinelli and Saka. So yes, people are saying, okay, Saka had a poor game, Martinelli had a poor game. But if you have two players double on you, even me, if I have two players double on me on the wingers, I can't do nothing. All I can do is just pass the ball back.
Yeah, because if you look at most of our goals last season, most of them came through the base of Thomas Partey into Martin Odegaard, and then into either Saka, Martinelli, or Jesus. That's how we played last season. And for this season, we played 9 games in the league, and we've not had that. We've not had that from the Partey playing holding midfield, and then Saka and Martinelli and Jesus in the same team. It's always been 2 different sort of like lineups, or 3 different lineups sometimes, with Kai Havertz coming in sometimes, or Rice going into the 8, or Fabio Vieira coming into the 8, or Partey playing right back, or Partey not in the team whatsoever. So I think Mikel just to sort of like stop being too smart for his own good and stop tinkering way too much. Just try to go back to how we started last season and then go from there, see how we progress. And fair enough, we're getting the results and whatnot, but we just need to go back to basics. And
you mentioned, I think Arteta used to be criticized as well because he was making like chop and change. You remember at the beginning of the season, he was playing Partey left back in it, and I was
right back,
and he was right back, and he was not even working because we end up conceding goals. We end up like receiving shots, like conceding too many positions. So he's trying things that is not even working at the moment. But hopefully, he will go back to basic. And next game, I want to see and this was the perfect game to play with Jorginho, that Sheffield one. This Sheffield game coming, he could have played Jorginho, Rice, and then
I don't even think that. I've seen Sheffield play against Man United, and not that I'm comparing Man United to Arsenal, but
Yeah.
they work really hard in the park. Those players do run as well. So again, we shouldn't underestimate Sheffield and say, "I'll bring Jorginho in." I think we should if we have our big players available, fit, they play. That's for me. That's it for me. And I know Jorginho is not in our best 11. If our best fit, the best 11 plays. So I don't know.
No, my point with that was like I didn't mean like he should play on Saturday. I mean like he should have rested Jorginho and play Partey. If he thinks like Partey cannot play like every game, he should have rested Partey against play Partey on against Chelsea because that's a tougher game. That game is tough. It's a derby. Chelsea's they're gonna be up for it. You understand? So he should have played Partey and he play Rice and then rest Jorginho for Sheffield. You could have played Sheffield Jorginho for like half an hour against Sheffield, and then you can do whatever. You can rest players against Sheffield. I'm not underestimating Sheffield. You can rest players against Sheffield, and you still end up winning. And we're playing at home anyway. So that was my point. But anyway, I expect to see Partey next game to come up because now, and not even next game, we're playing Champions League. We're playing tomorrow, and then we're going to talk about that game shortly. But just to round up, next player that I want to go on is Odegaard. I've been hearing so much stories about Odegaard, like he doesn't turn up in big games and all this. Last season had a very good season. Scored 15 goals last season. Very good season. Scored a lot of important goals and all this. But this season, a lot of people are saying because of maybe he missed Xhaka. Xhaka was doing the run and all this. So, what do you make of it?
I don't think it's Xhaka he's missing. Like I said earlier on, our main starts from Thomas Partey being in that 6. Yeah? People are forgetting Martin Odegaard is a creative midfielder. Yeah? So we all played into him in the pockets where he's got space between their midfield and their centre backs. That's where all his magic comes from. We don't need to come and pick up the ball from deep because what does that do? It makes him ineffective. And that's what was wrong with the Chelsea game because the Chelsea 3 that were in the middle were cutting off everything. They were marking us out from passing through the middle. Don't forget that they played Cole Palmer as a false 9. When Chelsea didn't have the ball, they were dropping into
the middle.
Yeah, they were in the middle. They were dropping into 4 people in that middle.
Yeah.
Plus Cole Palmer. So I didn't see one moment in the game where, we played from the back, got into the 6, straight into Martin Odegaard. It wasn't. They were just letting us have it out in the wings, and then as soon as Saka receives it or Martinelli receives it, they double up on us.
Yeah, because you know what happened? We started at the beginning, first 5 minutes, we started, but what happened is things changed because what happened? Arteta realized Jorginho, as soon as he hold the ball, they press him. So when they press him, he lose the ball. So Arteta was like, you know what, now what we're going to do? We're not going to play at the back too much. When we have the chance, we'll play. But we don't have the chance, we just kick it long. That's how we end up. That's why we were not able to play our system. They didn't allow us to play our system. That's the fact.
Yeah, so
credit to Chelsea. They did well, to be honest. There's nothing. We're not sitting there. We're not sitting there and thinking like, oh, we deserve to win or something. Like they did well. They did what they're supposed to do. But towards the end, they battled the league as well. Like 2-0 down at home. With the team. I said to this how to call it, to the group chat. I said the manager got it wrong towards the end. He was too comfortable. He feels like he can win the game. He can go there and score another goal. When he should have just bring on defenders, defend the 2-0 lead, and then defend at the same time attacking instead of you want to play from the back. You cannot. Like I mentioned, you're only playing good teams. They can have an off day, but when you give them one chance or two, they will take it and they will bear it, and that's what happened on the game.
To be fair, with the amount of control they had and the unlikelihood of Arsenal scoring at that moment of time in the game, I wouldn't have taken off Sterling and Mudryk. I would have taken them on and maybe refreshing up the midfield. That's what I would have done personally because you still had control of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit like when we played. I can't remember who we played, but Mikel took off Odegaard and took
I remember against Fulham.
Exactly.
As
soon as he done that, boom, we lost control of the game. Well, when you're ahead and you've got momentum, you have to carry on with it. The best form of defense is attacking. If you have that team on their back foot, guess what? They're not going to have a chance. They're not going to create anything to which was the case against us. But as soon as he done that, he just opened up the game, made it easier for us to sort of like, you know.
Yeah, Seni, are you there? Seni is gone. Yeah, I'll do some few comments here. Yeah, Papi said, that's a good point, bro. Ramsdale is the reason why we're in the Champions League. He's going to feel, devastated. Fine. Yeah, Papi, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, what happened to your network, man?
Yeah, you lost me there. I lost you there for a sec. Yeah, what I was saying is, as soon as they took off Mudryk and Sterling, it then encouraged us to play a bit higher up the pitch, which then gave us more sort of like options to push in the midfield and in attacking the final third. So it gave us more space to play and, put them under pressure. So he definitely made a mistake by taking them two off, because he removed that sort of like pace that we were scared to not push on really high and leave loads of gap in behind. Even though Liba's got good recovery speed and gap.
Moving on anyway. What's your thought on Odegaard, like performance wise? People are saying he's not been performing like all season. Do you make that down to he missed Granit Xhaka, or do you think like he just haven't been on his best form?
For what Granit Xhaka gave us last season, we definitely missed that, because we haven't got anyone in that other left side 8 that's doing what he was doing last season. So Kai Havertz defensively he's adding something to the team, but offensively, he's given us nothing. So we definitely do miss that. Sometimes we bring in Vieira, who does well in some games, and in some games he's so we definitely miss that. But I don't think Martin Odegaard is underperforming. I just think certain games, because people give Arsenal the respect that we deserve because of how we played last season. So the games, trying to mark him off out of the game and making sure, they're cutting him off from receiving the ball and getting into spaces. And for a creative midfielder, that's what you need. He's not someone who's going to be wrestling shoulder to shoulder with big boys in the midfield and, doing all of that. That's not his game. He's a silky player who, who's very skillful and very creative. So, that's what it is.
Yeah, with Odegaard, I think like the problem is, like you said, like we talked the game about, like Chelsea didn't allow us to play, so therefore it was difficult for him to get the ball, because Jorginho was poor. I think our midfield, the player that stand out, our midfield is Declan. Declan was poor in the first half, all of them, but in the second half, Declan was the only one that played well in that midfield, especially even in that team. So I probably give him that, but overall we expect a lot from him. So he was poor. I think the whole team was poor. Anyway, but we expect Odegaard to perform, especially tomorrow. We got a Champions League match, so we lost the second game away to Lens, and then this game tomorrow, against Sevilla is another tough game, because Real Madrid drew to Sevilla day before yesterday, something like that. So it's gonna be a tough game. So we have to I want Arteta to expect Arteta to go there, play his stronger 11. There's no reserving this player, play your strongest 11 in the game, because we got Sheffield, not this but the Sheffield, but we can be able to win and get the players rested and then play, or we can have injuries, still manage to get points against Sheffield. So tomorrow I'm expecting him to play full squad. I want to see that midfield, Rice, Partey, Odegaard. I want to see that midfield. Yeah, and I want to see back four. And with the back four, we're going to talk about this guy. Papi's just made a very good comment here. I'm going to put it on the screen so that you can see it. Really off. It's just like Zinchenko, always, good in the first half of the season, but poor in the second half of the season. What do you make of Zinchenko? He's been criticized a lot as well from now.
Yeah, he's targeted teams. They know, obviously, he's not defensively. He's not very solid. So when he's playing, teams do target him because they know they can get past him easier than they can.
That's what Chelsea did,
Right.
because the first goal came on that side.
Yeah, because even he's said it himself that, defensively I'm not the strongest. So people do know, the weaknesses of the team when they play against us. So they aim to actually exploit it.
Yeah.
So obviously when people see Ben White and Zinchenko playing, they're gonna be like, all right, cool, that's the weaker side. Let's, stick it on him. And defensively, he's not up to scratch. So that's why you see a lot of time Tomiyasu comes in. But offensively, if we're playing against teams that are gonna sit back and play with the low block, by all means, yeah, play him. If you're playing against a team that's gonna come out and play football, stick Tomiyasu in there. He's solid. He can bomb forward. He can overlap. It's just a different type of left back.
Yeah, I agree. I think Zini should be dropped, because I think Zini's not been great this season, to be honest with you. So for me,
he just needs to know what teams he should play him against. Obviously, if we're gonna go play someone like Sheffield, you never know. They might start to defend and just sit back and try to hit us on a counter, which Zini will be very effective in that. So if you're playing the like of Chelsea, when you have a lightning fast winger like Sterling, who's gonna attack, obviously you put Tomiyasu in there. But
yeah, and that's what they did. That's what they did. The Chelsea targeted that place. They targeted. But the good thing is, Gabriel was recovering that side very well, especially in the first half. It was helping. But if Gabriel was not there, it could have been worse. Could have been probably just scored 2 or 3 in the first half. When the first half, it was that bad. It was very bad in the first half. But yeah. So yeah, I think so. Let's talk about tomorrow's game. What do you expect tomorrow?
Sevilla is a very hard place away. We've been there. We've been on the receiving end a couple of times. So I expect Arteta to go in there, with our best 11 that's available fitness-wise. And I'm hoping he brings in Ramsdale, because, David Reyes under so much pressure and the fans are on his back. So I think take him out of the limelight, bring Ramsdale on, who's going to be hungry to prove a point. So I think if he selects Ramsdale tomorrow, he will play very well. And, he'll offer something different. I hope to see Thomas Partey. I would definitely start Thomas Partey if I was him, because he's been there. He's played in Spain. He knows Sevilla very well. He knows that ground very well. So I would, like you said, I would start him, Martin Odegaard, and Declan Rice in that middle. Give us that stiffness, that steel in the middle of the park, and then obviously the front picks itself: Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka. But we've seen what the likes of Trossard can do when they come on. I think he's a very good impact player. When he starts very slow, he don't get into the game as much. But when he comes on, he's a mean machine, man. He comes on with intent. He comes on to prove something. So whereas we have Martinelli, when he starts, he's driving a defender, giving him a headache, and then he's making sure fullbacks think twice before they go up on the other side of the pitch. So I expect to see that and get to the point where if players are tiring, bring on the likes of Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, and Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz, I wouldn't play him in that 8. We've seen he struggle so many times in so many different games. So he does well more often than not when he plays in that number 9 role.
I think even Jesus is not playing. I think Kai Havertz is better when he plays in that number 9 role. I think Jesus is not on 4.
If you seen
there you go. I don't know what's wrong with saying this network today. Okay. So it looks like, what's wrong with your network?
Am I back?
Yeah, you back,
Yeah.
you back.
Yeah, so Jesus, and he's doing way too much. As a number 9, man, I need you to be in that box when we're attacking. I need you to be in that final third. I need you to be occupying those centre backs. But he's dropping way too deep trying to receive the ball because he's getting no service. And I'm judging this by the performance of the last game. So against Chelsea again, not meaning to bring Chelsea into this again, but he was dropping in too deep because the ball wasn't. They couldn't get the ball into the front players, the attacking players, because everything was off. So he was dropping deep to try and come and receive the ball and whatnot. And when you do that, when you have your back to goal as a striker, you're not going to do your job very well. So I get he interlinks and link up play with the wingers and attacking midfielders, but I need you to be in there. That's why Eddie nearly scored. You see when Eddie came on, one behind the defense, chased it down and nearly beat. Well, he did beat Thiago Silva to it and nearly stuck it to the back of the net. It was narrowly wide. So I'll definitely say, we need to make sure he freshens things up once the game asks for it, not leave it till it's too late. Even the substitutions he made on Saturday, I believe they were way too late. I would have done that.
One thing I will give credit to Ateta is the substitution was very good. All those substitutions that came in impact, especially Trossard. So at the moment we went 2-1, I'm like, yo, can you bring Trossard in? Because remember, me and you spoke halftime. I said to you, look, you said to me, remember, I said to you, Zin is bad. You said to me, and Saka. I said, well, yeah, Saka is bad, but I won't take Saka out because what happened is Saka can have a bad game and he can still impact, can come up, or he can score. And you see what happened towards the end of the game. So I think Trossard did well, and this is what sometimes I've seen like Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, Trossard just have to start," and all. I'm like, bro, Trossard. Sometimes I even like said he deserves to start certain games, but when he starts, he doesn't do much. He doesn't contribute much into the game. But if you want to see Trossard play, brings him last 15 minutes. You need a goal, just come and score, and he always do his job perfectly. So his substitution was good. It was not bad when this lineup was poor, but the changes were good.
Yeah.
But definitely. I've got a question here that Papis just put out there. I wanted to play, but because of I'm just researching something. I'll read it for you anyway. He said, "Can you please ask Sani, who do we need to drop when Timber comes back?" Basically,
Zinchenko.
Isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, Zinchenko for me.
I think that's fair.
Has to be Timber in it.
Yeah.
And to balance it out, you'd have to have Ben White in there as well. Because if you go Timber on one side and Tommy on one side, it becomes too defensive.
Yeah. No, I think Timber can do that invert role. He can still defend better and he can still play attacking better.
Yeah. He's more balanced in the sense that he can defend and attack at the same time. But when he comes back, I've seen him play both right and left back, and he's done it like he's natural. They both come natural to him. So I would definitely keep Ben White because of his relationship with Saka on the right. That gives us an outlet in many games. So I would definitely keep that, and then drop Zinny and put Timber on the left. Sure.
Facts. I've got a video here that I want to play.
Yeah.
I want to play this video and I want us to listen to it, and then you can see.
You were lucky. No, we weren't lucky. Number one, we weren't lucky. Let's remember that. Yeah, we scored 2 good goals. We deserved. We fought our way back into that game. Anybody was lucky. It was them. Right. The first goal, Saliba. All right, under the new rules, it's probably a penalty because as soon as you got your arm out. But come on, how are you supposed to jump now? Then in the second half, for all them Chelsea fans who keep saying Arsenal are lucky, did Mudryk mean that? He did not mean that in a million years. That was a miss-it cross.
I was like, let me just play this video quickly and then, what do you make of it?
I think, to be fair, both teams had lucky moments in the game. So, it balances out because Chelsea was, like I said before, because laws of physics. You can't propel your body in the air without using your arms. It's like saying standing up with no legs. It's impossible. You can't do it. And the proximity of Mudryk headering it and his arm, it was less than a meter. There's no way you could get your arm out of the way, even if you wanted to. Yeah. And then Mudryk scored. We could all clearly see he was looking for Sterling. He mishit that cross, and it's ended up at the back of the net because David Raya come out way too forward from his goal line.
Yeah.
And then of Arsenal, we were lucky. Sadio made that mistake, and Rice scored. Even though it was still a hard chance to score from there, he could have popped it up and it would have gone wide or go over. And then our keeper as well, David Raya, again, played the ball into Cole Palmer. He could have easily tucked it away, and we would have been 3 goals down. So both teams, I'd say both teams had lucky moments in the game, definitely. But Chelsea obviously played better than us for most of the game.
I've got one more to play. This one is a Chelsea fan. I'm sure you watch this guy for so many times. His name is Luis. I'm sure you've seen him on the timeline a lot. So let's listen.
We want to be where the Arsenals are at. We want to be where the Cities are at. So you need a mentality to stick on it for 90 minutes.
Of course. But can we not agree it's better than what we've seen?
Low bar. We had better in the Burnley and Fulham games. And we won those games so we can flex them. Why are we trying to cope with a draw? Why are we doing this? This is what rival fans will sit here and say, copium. No, we bottled this game. Let's call it what it is. At the very least, the only positive I'm giving you is that I feel more confident for the Brentford game. That's it. This is 2 points dropped. No matter what way you want to sugarcoat it, we have dropped the ball here. And that's it. We've dropped enough points at the start of the season that we can't afford to be dropping points at a point where we're 2-0 up against a team like Arsenal who are probably going to lose that game anyway. We've bottled it. Simple as that.
So are we putting the majority of the blame on Sanchez? Is there anyone else that comes into it?
I mean, Gusto fell asleep for the second goal. He had a good performance in spite of that. But the domino effect is a Sanchez error. It all comes from there. Until that exact moment, we had the game in our hands. That one moment gave Arsenal the momentum and they built on it. And to be honest, we fell back a little bit. We lost a bit of confidence because now the lead's been halved. And then they get a second one, they see out. That's just good mentality. That's what happens when you're at the top of the table. That's why I'm not accepting it, because that's where we want to be. So why are we sitting there saying, it's okay, we drew, we're all right for 70 minutes. Fuck that. It's about results. Especially when you get 5 points out of your first 5 games. It's about results now. We bottled this game. We should have done better over the full 90.
Yeah, Seni. I'm sure he's speaking facts. You know?
Listen, if any Chelsea fans came out here and said, listen, I'm happy with that, or even trying to defend their team for losing that 2-0 lead, then there must be smoking tea bags, honestly, because you bear in mind you've spent £1 billion on that team. Of course you want to see your team at the top of the table fighting for titles and challenging. You don't want to be sat in 11th and then arguing about a game you've drawn, saying you're lucky or this and that. No, because you were in a driving seat. You should have seen that team out with that talent you had on display. You shouldn't be happy that your team dropped out. Lost the 3 points and ended up with 1. You shouldn't be happy. You should demand more from that team. You should be going home upset. You should. If I was a Chelsea fan, I would be so upset that it would more feel like a loss than a draw. You know, like you're sat at 11th. You've missed. You've got what, 5 points from 5 games at the start of the season. Now is the time to start picking up those 3 points. Especially you've led for like 70 minutes of the game. You've had the game under control. You shouldn't be happy. He's right. He's definitely right. He demands more from his team. That's why he's speaking facts. So I definitely agree with him. Unlike certain Chelsea fans who are coming out here to defend their team and saying, you guys got lucky. Bro, both teams were lucky.
Your boy. Your
That's
boy
the
is a Palmo, is a rubbish club, rubbish
that's
fan
the
base.
that's the facts of the matter. Like
Fam,
Arsenal, Arsenal,
thank you for the chat. Anyway, that's all I can say. Yeah, go on,
yeah,
say.
Arsenal definitely came out of that game the happier team because we rescued a point. We didn't lose, and we're still, you know, top two teams on the league table. So, you know, there's no way we're gonna come out of that and say, oh, we're not happy because I definitely look that game wrapped. I definitely thought it was wrapped because I didn't see where we were gonna get a goal from until when Sanchez made that mistake. So I definitely agree.
Yeah, and Papi Stamba said Modric definitely didn't mean that. So we all agree to that.
Yeah,
Saying is very
100%.
well spoken today.
And then Pamodu said bottles as usual. He said, this guy read, don't know ball. So, as we expect from Pamodu anyway. So we over it now. Oh yeah, it's causing a minute down there. But yeah, El, basically you came late, so we're about to wrap up. So just tell us, your thought about these players that I just highlighted, Raya versus Ramsdale. You do that quickly, and then we'll move to the other one as well, because we have talked about it already.
Okay. Raya versus Ramsdale. Boy, remember when we bought Raya? I was like, yo, I don't know if he's like a major improvement on Ramsdale, but the only thing he can pass the ball, he can play from the back. And from what I've seen, it's like he's not levels above Ramsdale. Maybe that could be also because like last few weeks he's been playing bad. That could be a confidence issue. But one thing Saini mentioned, and I think Papi's commented as well, Ramsdale needs to come back in, man. He needs to play some Champions League games because he done a
I think
lot
he
for
deserves to play Champions League football, to be
yeah,
honest.
he does deserve to play Champions League football. And that ball, even that Modric unmeant cross, as soon as it went in, I was like, that's not beating Ramsdale. But then there's other things why it's good at Ramsdale's not good at. Raya is very good at coming to collect the ball. And Ramsdale, that was a big downfall because we considered a few goals. Even remember that Brentford one where we moaned it was offside. Like Raya doesn't allow that to happen because he comes
Yeah,
out
that's the
and
good thing. That's the good thing. And this season we haven't considered corner.
Yeah, exactly. It's like for a small guy, he claims a lot of balls in the air. And Ramsdale, because he's taller, he has a better qualities. He just needs to improve what Raya does. If he does, he's definitely number one for me. But as of now, I want him to come back in, man.
Would you drop him? Would you drop Raya for tomorrow's Champions League?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. What about Partey? Would you bring Partey back? I heard Jorginho.
Yeah, if Thomas is fit, because I know he went to Ghana and he played 45 minutes one game, and I don't know if he played a whole 90 against the USA. But yeah, Partey should come back in because it just allows us in the midfield to be more solid. Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. And I feel like when we play Rice in that position, it enables us, like it's almost like having Xhaka there, but a more mobile Xhaka. He's always on the left supporting Gabriel Martinelli or Trossard, whoever is there. So yeah, I want Partey back, to be honest. But Partey does have.
Before we move on to Odegaard, I was gonna play this before the Odegaard, me and Seni, but luckily I forgot. I'll play it now before we move it into Odegaard. So I'll play this clip and then we have a listen to this one quickly.
Anyone seen him? Yeah, last time I see Odegaard, he was signing a new contract. Absolute waste of a foot. I swear. The amount of people that say, "Oh, you've got an agenda. Oh, you don't like Odegaard because you're biased. You've got an agenda." No, I've got eyes, mate, and he's not very good. And every time a team presses him, he disappears. He was shocking.
Yeah. Go on. Do you agree with him?
I don't like the guy anyway, so I don't like it. I don't like his football opinion. I really don't, because he's come out and he was Arteta out for a long time, and then he wouldn't admit that he was wrong. So I don't take him seriously.
Yeah.
Once he's talking about Odegaard as well, bro, how many goals did Odegaard assist last season?
15.
Yeah, how many did he
Oh
score?
no. Sorry,
No,
15 goals.
He scored
15 goals.
15 in it.
I think assists about 13. I don't know, or 10. I'm not sure.
Yeah. What, bro? That's like nearly 25 goal contributions. Let's say, for example, yeah, players are gonna have bad games, because Chelsea set up to block Odegaard from getting the ball. You understand? Some teams will do that to us, and it's just like then we need to find the initiative and not put all that pressure on him and find somewhere else how we can attack. And that's what we didn't have yesterday, or on Saturday. Chelsea played very good. They stopped Odegaard, and they also stopped Martinelli and Saka from being too effective. Yeah. So just after that, you can't be here talking about Odegaard. I'm telling you, like next couple games, we'll be sat here talking about how brilliant Odegaard is because he's a world-class player for me.
Yeah,
Even
I
my
was
wife-
talking to Modu about this guy anyway. What to call it? League on. You know what? I like League, but like I just don't agree sometimes. The things that he said.
Yeah, it's emotion.
Like you mentioned, like he was Ateta out, but he's still not admitting like Ateta. To be honest,
He was
with you,
wrong,
I
yeah.
would say Ateta out. But Ateta has, you know, when you criticize a player or you criticize a manager, when the manager comes and do good or the player comes and do good, you should be able to give them their flowers back. You know, so that's
Exactly.
why I disagree with him a bit. But
Boy, Odegaard for me.
he said, I agree, to be honest.
Odegaard is one of the players I look. I'm like, yo, this guy is world class. The way he's silky with the ball, and it's not every week you're gonna play teams that are able to stop Odegaard from playing. There's 18 other teams, or in the 19 other teams in the league that we're gonna play. So in a way, I feel like, mate, game's gone. We got a point. We're happy. Let's move on.
Yeah, let me read this comment from Papi saying, no, this guy is clueless. I don't like this guy, you know. Odegaard is quality. But yeah,
he's right.
talking about, you know. But anyway, you know, we just wrap up this show. And then before we go, let's do the prediction quickly. Tomorrow, Champions League. Sani, start with Sani.
I'm gonna go with 2-1 to Arsenal tomorrow.
Sani, L.
I'm happy with the draw tomorrow, mate. Like,
Yeah, I think tomorrow's game is a tough game.
I'm happy. I'm happy with the 1-1 draw.
You know what? I'll take a draw.
If we win, obviously it helps us like for the next Champions League games that we're gonna have home, and we can play some of the other players as well.
I want to win, but I think a draw is not bad. But
yeah, draw is not bad to get.
I'll go for
But if we win, yeah, we're capable of winning. We're capable of going there and to win. And I hope
I'm gonna go for a 1-0. Because
You go for
right
1-0.
now,
That's fair.
so if we get a goal, that's fine. If we don't win, we need to draw. We cannot lose. We don't have to lose.
Yeah,
The next game we're gonna come to our home ground, and our home ground we can collect the 3 points and still be top or second, whatever the case is.
Yeah, I feel like last season we got a lot of that was our philosophy anyway. Like if you can't win, don't lose it, innit?
Yeah, Papis is gone for 1-1 anyway. But yeah, we'll wrap up the show, and then we'll be back Monday. Oh yeah, sorry.
Did Sevilla have 2 draws? They drew against
They have
Lens
2
and
draws. Yeah, they have 2 draws. They drew one first leg at home, 1-1.
Yeah.
to Lens. And then so
yeah.
So we'll be back now. I mean, like all Arsenal podcasts, we'll be back on Monday as usual. Then we have another podcast coming up on Thursday. We'll be hosted by Sani, the man himself. So make sure you tune in and subscribe, like, and share the video as well. Guys, you know,
Some butch.
later.
Love.
On.